at the 3rd Street Market Hall in downtown Milwaukee. Of course, you, the Scalzo and Brust family, calling, texting 800-990-3776, 800-990-ESPN. You got me, Benny?
I got you loud and clear.
Who do we have working in Madison right now? Is it Russo?
I don't think so.
It's Russo.
Here we go. That's my guy.
See, Russo, I was in the office Tuesday and Thursday. What do you do all day?
I come in when this show's going to be on. What do you want me to hang out in the morning doing nothing?
Yeah, I'm on Team Russo here.
No, it's fine. I thought a guy like
he's efficient with his time. He's a busy man.
I thought a guy like him would grind up
what?
the ladder instead of just yelling every chance he gets to talk on Scalzo and Brust.
Ben, what time did you come in?
It doesn't matter what time I got in. I was in. You weren't.
Whatever you say, Ben. Whatever you say.
Good man.
We're going to start here with our guy, Bill Barnwell. Bill Barnwell, we've noted, has been what I believe to be the biggest Packers hater over the last few seasons, putting a lot of doubt into the minds of fans around the NFL, saying that the Packers were going to decline after the 2019 season. They went 13-3. Aaron Rodgers won an MVP. Heading into the 2021 season, he said the same thing, due for a massive regression.
The funniest thing about this all is I think we're learning that this isn't a Packers thing. This has less to do with the Packers.
Well, and part of it was that I was building to that, Benny. Once again, you got to let things play out to the right
I thought you needed a sip of water. I was doing my best.
I did. This is good popcorn, but sometimes the kernels.
What are you doing?
What?
Popcorn while we're on the radio?
I wasn't eating it on the radio, but you know when it's in the mouth and then all of a sudden
dry you out.
No, it's not that. It's the kernel. Russo, tell him. Sometimes you get a kernel in the mouth and the kernel gets caught in the wrong place. Russo gets it.
I'm with you, Greg.
He's with me. So heading into the 21 season, it was the same thing. Hey, look, this team is due for regression. Aaron Rodgers surely isn't going to be able to continue this torrid pace that he put up in that MVP season. They're going to step back and only be a 9-win team. Sure enough, go 13-3 again. Number 1 seed in the NFC. Aaron Rodgers, another MVP, going back-to-back in his late 30s. Heading into last season, he was bound to be right one time, right? Mm-hmm. Called for the regression, it happened. So he's been down on the Packers the last 3 offseasons. And lo and behold, this offseason, as Aaron Rodgers leaves Green Bay, goes to New York, Billy Barnwell comes out and says this about what this Packers team is going to be in the 2023 season.
Good setup, Greg.
I'm going beyond legit threat. I'm saying they're going to win.
What? Rename this the Bill Barnwell Show.
NFC North this year.
Look at this.
And my logic is simple. This is a team that won 13 games each of the 3 prior seasons. And, of course, that was with Aaron Rodgers. Mm-hmm. But I think the defense is very good. Mm-hmm. I think the offensive line is the healthiest it's been in a few years. And I'm willing to place a bet here, or an implied bet, on Brian Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur. Because I don't think those guys trade Aaron Rodgers away unless what they're seeing from Jordan Love in practice is enough for them to believe that they can win with Jordan Love as their starting quarterback.
That, again, Bill Barnwell on ESPN talking about that on NFL Live there. I don't understand they have a great defense.
That's the first thing I wrote down. I think the defense is good. Okay, so did we all think that last year and the year before and the year before that?
I understand the offensive line being healthy. I understand how we're just projecting this defense to be great when they're missing probably their most important player, maybe tied as their most important player on defense with Rashawn Gary, and questionable in terms of when he is going to return from that ACL injury and how explosive he's going to be. So really, Ben, as you were getting to, he just hates Aaron Rodgers.
He hates Aaron Rodgers, and it's fine. I think the funny thing as well that I take from that is he pointed to them moving on from Aaron Rodgers, and he's buying stock in Goody and LaFleur, which is interesting because Goody and LaFleur actually don't have the greatest relationship together, so it's funny to pair those two in the same sentence on buying stock. But when he says they must have saw enough in practice from Jordan Love to move on from Aaron Rodgers, I have ultimately come to the conclusion that it was just so toxic that they just had to move on from Aaron Rodgers. And because Jordan Love was a first-round draft pick, whether he was great in practice or not, he was going to get a shot because Brian Gutekunst drafted him in the first round. And every GM is guilty of this, and I don't think it's a bad thing, but when you pick your guy and you think you've landed something as a GM, he's put his stamp on Jordan Love, and he's going to want to see that as a GM. And so it was the perfect storm of moving on from Aaron Rodgers. Bill Barnwell basically says Aaron Rodgers is gone. There's reasons why the Packers can, like, these are things that can be. For him to say it's simple logic, I don't think it's that simple. Like, there's a lot of things that have to go right and change based off the trajectory of the Packers. Joe Barry has to show he can coordinate this defense. Rashawn Gary has to be healthy, because I actually think, I would go out and say it, I think Rashawn Gary is more important than Jair Alexander. When he's healthy, the impact that he has from a pressure standpoint, I think helps create more opportunities for that secondary to thrive. So just in general, it's a Billy Barnwell hate tour. But has any show on Earth given Billy Barnwell more airtime than us?
No, he's completely has real estate in my head, because it's so obvious the way that he is positioning all of it. Now, you could make the argument, as many have, saying, well, if they saw so much from Jordan Love in practice, then you would have not given Aaron Rodgers a $150 million extension. But okay, I'll accept the fact that maybe you didn't see enough prior to that, but over this last year, things clicked for him.
And he was an MVP, and it's hard to be like, no, we're not going to give this guy a contract.
If that's the case, don't you try to extend him? If you're going to rework the contract the way that this Packers team did, don't you try to extend him beyond the 2 seasons in which they did? Now, maybe Jordan Love and his agents weren't a fan of that, but you're telling me that he wouldn't have taken $15 million a year guaranteed over the next 4 years, or at least the way the NFL guarantees that money, and they didn't go ahead and do that. They positioned the structure of that contract to say, hey, we're going to roll with Jordan and see what he is, but we don't have the utmost confidence that he's going to be the guy for the next decade. So that's one massive unknown with this Green Bay Packers team. The other unknown in Wisconsin is the Wisconsin football program. And Adam Rittenberg talked about how this Badgers team could be one of the most interesting teams in all of college football this year.
I don't know if there's a more interesting, scheme change program combination than the air raid coming to Wisconsin with Phil Longo under Luke Fickell. Could they be a lot better offensively? Yes. Could they be messy and sloppy and cost themselves games on offense? Absolutely. But it's going to be interesting either way.
That, again, Adam Rittenberg talking, and it's certainly going to be interesting either way. And quite frankly, I hope this offense makes mistakes, because that means that they're trying new things and they're being bold, and I think that that is how Phil Longo is going to want to run it this year. But it's going to be really, really exciting to see what this Badgers team is. We don't know. There's a lot more unknowns in the Badgers world, because we haven't seen, Mordecai as at quarterback. We haven't seen what this offense even looks like for the Wisconsin Badgers. You've got an entire new coaching staff. You have a new quarterback. The running back remains the same. But in college, right, you're constantly turning guys over. There's just less knowns as far as the personnel that this Wisconsin Badgers program has. But we want to know. 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Let's open up the phone lines. And Joshua, let's poll this as well. Out of those 2 unknowns, which unknown are you more sure about? Is it Jordan Love-led Green Bay Packers team, or is it the air raid Wisconsin Badgers? 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776, Twitter at Scalzo and Brust.
I mean, I picked the Badgers, and it's because when you say the unknown of the air raid Wisconsin Badgers, it's been well documented that the identity of the Badgers will somewhat stay the same. Like, they have Braylon Allen, and they'd be crazy not to run the football. Like, they've said that out loud. So I think the hybrid approach of having the opportunity to grow the air raid and the passing game with the Badgers, and I'll go beyond that. Take the players out of it. In college football, it's more driven by coaches. Players drive the NFL, in my opinion, more than the coaches. So I trust Luke Fickell. Because when you think about it, he was at Cincinnati, a non-Power 5 school, and he was able to get them to the college football playoff, which is something the Wisconsin Badgers, a Power 5 program, has not been able to do. So I'm putting my trust in Coach Fickell, and this isn't a knock on LaFleur. I just only know that LaFleur has been successful with Aaron Rodgers. And so until I see him be successful outside of an MVP quarterback, I'm putting my faith in the unknown of Luke Fickell, which is more known from what he did at Cincinnati.
800-990-3776. And it's an interesting question because I think which one are you more sure about is interesting, right? You're saying, hey, I believe in Luke Fickell more than I believe in Matt LaFleur as far as leading their teams to success. Both teams ultimately have light schedules. Like this Badgers team, and I think that you could look at both and say, I'm pretty sure I know the range in which this Packers team is going to fall from a wins perspective. And I'm pretty sure I know the range in which this Badgers team is going to fall from a wins perspective. I don't think that either of them have this massive ceiling to floor where it's like, well, this Packers team could win 12 games or they could win 4 games. I feel pretty good that they're going to win somewhere between 6 and 10 games.
I was going to say 5 to 9. But either way, it's around the same range.
And I think for this Badgers team, it's similar, right? Like it would be hard for me to believe that this team is going to win less than 8 games.
Yeah, 8 to 10 there.
But it also feels hard for them to win more than 11.
Especially in a first year, change is always hard. That is what was impressive from Matt LaFleur, which I will give him credit for, was his ability to win 13 games his first year as head coach in an overhaul of the way that the Packers have played offense under Mike McCarthy over the 10 years prior to Matt LaFleur.
On Twitter, at Scalzo and Brust, you're going to be able to vote on a poll there, but on the talk and text line, 800-990-3776, Chef Ed says, by far it's the Badgers. I don't get good vibes about Jordan Love. That's the official chef of the Scalzo and Brust family. Dave from Aaron says, hope the Packers do well this year, and I have an open bet that they will go to the playoffs. However, I hope they have our receivers having extra practice with our D-backs, learning how to bat balls and knock balls out in case of interceptions. Doesn't show a lot of confidence. He also says he heard you earlier this morning on with Jesse and Old T.
I did pop on for about 2 minutes. I tickled Jesse Nelson in the last segment of their show.
You actually tickled him?
Yeah, he was like a caricature Elmo.
Where did you go with the tickle?
Right in his sides.
Like hit the sides there,
yeah.
not the armpits?
I went right for his sides.
Okay.
I think he liked it a little more than I thought he would.
JJ in Poinet says it's interesting. Barnwell is usually basing his takes purely on statistics. His prediction of regression was supported by all statistical data. Yeah, I'm not going to buy that, JJ. We've had that argument for many years. The take you just shared is a lot of conjecture, not really supported by any data. Here's the thing about data, JJ and Poinet. You can pull what you want in order to justify your argument, and that's what Bill Barnwell did in back-to-back years. However, when you went from 20 to 21, his argument that their red zone efficiency, I can't believe I'm arguing something from 3 years ago, but I'm going to do it because I'm me.
Well, and he
from
lives rent-free.
2020 to 2021, like, the regression, he said, was going to happen in the red zone. It did happen. They still won 13 games because Aaron Rodgers is so freaking good that they were able to get it done. So I understand your point, but yes, it's all a lot of conjecture. Stephen Pewaukee says, what did Bill Barnwell predict for the New York Jets? He predicted them to finish third in their division and to not make the playoffs because he hates Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I guess we did, that is an important piece of the puzzle as we did walk through essentially 2019, 2020, 21, 22 predictions of Bill Barnwell that regarded around Aaron Rodgers. And now we've moved on to 2023. His Packers win the NFC North, and Rodgers brings the Jets down to third.
800-990. ESPN 800-990-3776. Badgers or Packers? A lot of unknowns for both teams. Which unknown are you more sure about? Is it the Badgers, led by Luke Fickell and Phil Longo and a whole lot of new faces, or is it the Packers with Matt LaFleur taking over the Jordan Love era? It's coming up. We'll keep it going. We'll open up the phone lines. Coming up next, we're live at Bishops Bay Country Club, hanging out here with the Alec Ingold Foundation. Going to be an awesome auction going on later. Alec's going to jump on with Ben as well, starting at 5:30 p.m. It's Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
Not as cool as the parade that I should have for winning CGL.
It's CGL. What does it stand for?
Closed Gyms League. You guys are... I'm going to swear on this show.
Scalzo and Brust.
Josh, you're lucky. You're lucky this is a remote.
Scalzo and Brust. Available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Well, all the accidents have been picked up and taken care of, so at least we got that going for us. We do still have some delays, though, along eastbound 94 between Highway 16 and the zoo interchange. Going to be about 14 minutes, and then another 10 to get from the zoo into downtown. We've got southbound 43 at a half an hour now, Brown Deer Road to downtown. Those delays stretch from well before Good Hope Road all the way down past Locust. Northbound side's going to be backed up from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up past Keefe. Traffic is brought to you by Evans Transportation in Brookfield, where they provide customized logistics solutions to keep you and your business moving forward. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, chance of thunderstorms later on, a low of 66. Then Friday, partly cloudy, warm and humid, a slight chance for a thunderstorm with a high of 87. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Boziga on 94.5 ESPN.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
From the tee box to the green and everything golf-related in between.
Same thing with Xander and Campbell. Like those four, because you know you're just going to pair them together. Like those four are safe on this Ryder Cup team. They're safe in 2 years on that Ryder Cup team.
On the tee with Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson.
Like JT and Spieth are still your horses. Like they are still your first team out.
On the tee with Gabe and Stephen. Presented by Wisconsin Golf Trips. Mondays at 6 on 94.5 ESPN.
Brookfield GMC has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, all bundled under the James Managed Print Services Program. Brookfield GMC Controller Jay Doyle.
They can track where the printer supplies are, the toner supply is getting down or low, and then they'll ship us a new toner.
And there's more. James Imaging Systems Managed Print Services also includes parts and service.
Exactly, yes. We had a fuser go out in one of our printers, and they came out and replaced that right away. So repair and our supplies are maintained.
Managed Print Services from James Imaging Systems. All your document output devices, service, supplies, and parts wrapped up in one low monthly invoice. Now that's a good value.
It's a big value because of all the services.
Managed Print Services from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local office technology partner.
From the tee box to the green and everything golf-related in between.
Same thing with Xander and Campbell. Like those four, because you know you're just going to pair them together. Like those four are safe on this Ryder Cup team. They're safe in 2 years on that Ryder Cup team.
On the tee with Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson.
Like JT and Spieth are still your horses. Like they are still your first team out.
On the tee with Gabe and Stephen. Presented by Wisconsin Golf Trips. Mondays at 6 on 94.5 ESPN.
It's the tent sales event all month long at the Lynch family of dealerships. Over 800 vehicles to choose from, including up to $7,500 off select new vehicles or 0.9% financing. And you'll get top dollar toward your trade, even if you have to push, pull, or drag it in during the Lynch tent sale event. Visit shoplynch.com today.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
As low as 0.9% APR for 66 months to qualified buyers. Must take delivery by July 31st. See dealer for all the details.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it.
Grateful Dead Thursday here on Scalzo and Brust. We're hanging out at Bishop's Bay Country Club in the Madison area with the Alec Ingold Family Foundation. Foundation. They help connect our youth to community leaders and foster the ecosystem of excellence that they create together. He's got his Battle for Wisconsin charity softball game coming up on Saturday at Warner Park in the Madison area. It's where the Mallards play. Ben, you stole the show last year during that softball game.
Believe it or not, when Alec Ingold and I were talking before the show, he brought up the fact that I led off the Battle for Wisconsin charity softball game, basketball versus football, with a home run after struggling in the home run derby. You can cool me. I feel good about it. He said it was the best way that the event could have started. 4 for 4, 4 runs, 1 home run, 2 ribbies.
Cool. Do you remember that thing we talked about where it's like
better when somebody else?
When I bring you in saying you stole the show, like
that's good enough.
Yeah, and you know, I could have kept going, but then when you take over,
you didn't know the full details of the 4 for 4, the runs scored.
You don't think we talked about that incessantly last year when it happened?
You do remember more about my life than I do.
Yes. Now you guys lost last year.
Even if it's fake, being humble in that situation just is
Josh,
so worth it.
I don't need your.
He doesn't
advice.
have that gear though.
You know, I didn't. That's why I didn't let you talk, because I didn't want to bring up the fact that we lost.
Now you're just making things up?
No, that's true. I didn't want you to bring up the fact that we lost.
On Twitter, at Scalzo and Brust, with so much uncertainty heading into the 2023 season, which unknown are you more sure about? Is it the Badgers football team with new coaching staff and offense, or is it the Green Bay Packers with Jordan Love and a lot of unknowns, especially from those pass-catching positions at tight end and wide receiver? 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. You can call in, you can text in. Twitter, so far, early on, Badgers out to an early lead, 55% to 45% there on the poll on Twitter at Scalzo and Brust.
I mean, I am still kind of shocked. Like, I think the easy answer is the Badgers.
Well, both are coming off of really disappointing seasons, and I think, like, when you look at this Badgers team, there still has to be questions about how good is this offensive line going to be, right? That's the lifeblood of this Wisconsin program. Now, Jimmy Leonard had led a great defense over the last 5 years, and one of the best defensive coaches leading ultimately in his tenure at Wisconsin, a top 5 defense nationally. What is that defense now without Jimmy Leonard? Under Tressel.
It's not a 3-4 anymore, too. It's a different formation.
When it comes
different
to
there, too.
I'm actually going to say the Packers here.
Oh.
It doesn't mean I think the Packers will be better relative to the NFL that the Badgers are relative. I just feel like I'm more sure about what I'm going to see week in and week out on the field from the Packers than I am for the Badgers.
I mean,
I don't think Matt LaFleur is going to remake the entirety of this offense and bring in a whole lot of new systems into the offense with Jordan Love under center versus Rodgers. It's certainly going to look a little bit different. Jordan Love is going to have far less command over the offense than Aaron Rodgers had over the offense. I don't know if Matt LaFleur is going to go as far as like Sean McVay went with Jared Goff, which was literally reading the defense for him in his headset before the ball was snapped. But
Robert Woods is going to be over the middle.
But I think that you're going to find a lot more similarities about who the Packers are now versus who they were then than you are going to find about who the Badgers are now versus then. And that might mean that this Badgers team is actually better. I'm just not sure.
It's an interesting question because you can be more unsure about one and one actually end up being better from a wins-loss perspective. I still am going to stick with my answer, but one thing that I think helps the Packers in terms of believing in them as an unknown is what's not unknown is Joe Barry stinks. You know what I mean? Like, that's not an unknown. We know the defense has talent. We know Joe Barry has been talked about as a guy that likely should have been let go, but the loyalty of Matt LaFleur has kept him in Green Bay and as the defensive coordinator for the Packers. That's a known. You know that Keyshawn Nixon hopefully is going to be electric. But at the end of the day, I still go back to the foundation of trusting Luke Fickell to be able to go from a Cincinnati even in the way that he's handled everything from day one, from the press conference to helping out with the transition of Jim Leonard not being the head coach next year, at the bowl game, involved with the team, to the transfer portal initially, into the bat signal of recruiting, to the hype and energy of the weight room. What has been negative other than people complaining about in-state recruiting, which is a fallacy in itself.
I don't think there are many negatives. I think Luke Fickell has approached this new position for him as well as a new coach could. And I think that the excitement, the energy is all there. But you also have to remember that if we're talking about the head coach being, right, like the CEO, if you will, of the team, this is year one of him implementing the culture that he wants, the systems that he wants, who he is.
How did you not call me out?
Because I don't want to. I just want to keep on rolling to my point here. Whereas Matt LaFleur, this is year 5 for him?
Yeah.
Year 5 for him.
13 wins for 3 years, then 8-9.
He built the coaching staff he's wanted to build. He's built a team he's wanted to build in terms of systems and processes, in terms of schemes. He obviously doesn't have say over the players. That's all Gutekunst. But he's got the coaching staff built out. He's got the culture. He's had his arms wrapped around that. This is year 1 with Fickell. I don't want Badger fans to immediately think that means it's going to be great right away, because sometimes when you're building something special, you got to go through the crap before you get to the other side.
Your snaps are very powerful in studio, and they sound great on the microphone. Not as good on remote, but I'm just giving you some credit there. I will say that one thing that I don't agree with is where LaFleur has the culture in Green Bay. Like, I think this is a redefining.
I'm saying, but it's
a
his
redefining
5th year. Like, whether he's been able to do it or not, he's had the ability to. I'm only making this point in terms of what people should expect from Fickell. Like, I hope that it's not going to be, you see some great things, you see some bad things, and if they lose some games that they shouldn't, then people are like, I can't believe that Jimmy's not the guy. Like, you have to give him a couple of years in order to build out what he wants to build.
Yeah, I think that is a normal way to look at it, but I think whether it's fair or not, the expectations have been brought upon the Badgers bigger due to the way that they've gone about getting
You think the
players
expectations for the Badgers are larger than expectations for the Packers?
Absolutely.
See, I don't know if I do.
I mean, to me,
they're both coming from disappointing plays.
I understand, but it's the way that the offseason has felt and the way that they, like, how I went through each step of the way that Luke Fickell's gone through. He's got it from where he came from, and then everything he's done at Wisconsin has led me to believe, like, that there shouldn't be this massive drop-off, especially after a down year. I'm more confident that they're going to step in and go after it and get it, where there's probably more uncertainty that this year Jordan Love's going to step in with Matt LaFleur, and even if the schedule's soft, I still don't have as much faith they're going to do well.
Luke Fickell started at Cincinnati in 2017. Tommy Tuberville in 2016, which is hilarious. I didn't realize that's who Fickell took over for. Tuberville had the Cincinnati Bearcats at 4-8 in 2016. Year 1, Fickell jumps in there. He's got him at 4-8. Year 2, 11-2. Year 3, 11-3. 9-1, 13-1.
Did he have Braylon Allen when he took over from Tuberville?
No, but my point is Braylon Allen was on the team last year, and that Badger team wasn't great. So, like,
and he's building an offense that hopefully won't have stacked boxes.
Believe me, I hope that you're right. But my point is like, you have to. It's unfair to him to have the expectations for this year that he is going to be that great. It's fair to have the expectation over the next 4 years that this program is going to be in the mix. It's unfair. I'm not saying it's not existent, but it's unfair to have that expectation in year 1 for Luke Fickell.
Here's what I'm doing right now. I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing. I've even said many times I think they're going to be 8-4, but the one team that I will let myself emotionally just be dumb for is the Badgers, and I'm buying into the bat signal. I'm buying into the transfer portal. I'm buying into the air raid. I'm buying into not as many stacked boxes for Braylon Allen. I'm buying into the squat fest on social media where they're showing these psychopaths in the weight room at 7 a.m. squatting their brains out. Like, I'm all in, and so I can convince myself of just about anything when it comes to Badger football. I
sounds
can't convince
like you
myself
at a gas station bathroom.
Oh, it also sounds like me at the Dockhounds game with slots. I could convince myself that I was going to win a lot more than I did.
How bad was that? So Ben Brust last night went to a Dockhounds game. We had a nice outing for a bunch of teammates out there, across ESPN Wisconsin. And all I got was videos of you on the slot machine. I heard you were a recluse. Everyone else was hanging out, and you went by yourself to go and play the slots for a very long time. And
time was flying. I couldn't believe how much time flew while I was playing slots.
You got crushed, didn't you?
I was up 100 and I ended up losing it all. But as you know, that's not good enough.
Man. Yes. Dave from Aaron chimes in, says, Love is a first-year starter. It's to be assumed there will be turnovers. If he gets as much or less than Rodgers last year, I'll be really happy because I think our bolstered defense can hold teams from scoring. What bolstered defense?
Okay.
What am I missing?
When you say that, I agree, but the talent is there.
I think Quay Walker's going to make a massive jump, but I think you're going to see some regression from Rashawn Gary because it's his first year back from an ACL. Beyond that, what else did you gain? Your safeties are a disaster. We don't know what Eric Stokes is. Rasul Douglas is as up and down as it gets. Devondre Campbell up and down. Lucas Van Ness isn't going to play a lot. Who are your edge rushers? Preston Smith is a year older. Devontae Wyatt? What am I missing? I'm fine if you want to say they're going to be equal to last year. I agree, but it's not a bolster defense. Stephen Pewaukee says, how is in-state recruiting a fallacy? Joshy, can you tell us what Ben Brust actually said on the air?
I'd love to, Greg.
Other than people complaining about in-state recruiting, which is a fallacy in itself.
A phallus?
Did I make up that word? Which is a fallacy in itself. Fallacy in itself. Guys, help me. Fallacy. I'm not gonna talk.
Well, the word is fallacy.
Okay.
Stephen Pewaukee.
So I was on the right track.
Yes, but there is also something called, have you ever heard of phallic before?
I have heard of it.
If something's
or a
phallic in
phallus?
Yes.
Yes.
What is my wee-wee doing right now?
Thank you, Joshy. I didn't want to have to explain that in my own words. Stephen Pewaukee says, how is in-state recruiting a fallacy? Penn State has come in and signed 2 of the top 4 players in the state because who cares if you're getting the best players in the country? In-state recruiting will always be important in Wisconsin. You have to give the coaching staff, in my mind, time to be able to build the inroads in the state in order to get those guys. But also, in-state recruiting will become less and less important as college football continues to evolve. We've seen that already.
Yeah, and the goal would be is if you prove out that the recruiting that you're doing, from even if it's out of state, you're going to attract the higher level in-state recruits, even if they're not 3 stars, right? It's a process. I'll take the process, like you're talking about with this Badger program from a recruiting standpoint, over getting up in arms about losing players that we would have recruited and got over the last 10 years.
847 says, I think there's much more uncertainty with the Badgers. They could win anywhere from 5 to 11 games. On the other hand, I'm fairly certain the Packers are not going to do very well. My range is between 4 and 7. So, while not many wins there, less deviation.
I'd even say, not 9 games is possible with their schedule and the division.
CJ in Greendale continues to just be an absolute buzz on the text line. I don't understand the majority of what he's saying. He throws a lot of numbers out there, but he believes that this Badgers team, based on what I'm gathering, can win the West, and he wants us to highlight a UW wide receiver for the next week, or every week, 1 day a week. Highlight a UW wide receiver. I don't know if that's going to happen, CJ in Greendale.
I think in Madison they can have some Badger minutes. We can send that to Jesse Nelson to maybe think about that as an idea.
Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Sometimes in life, right, you think the only way to push yourself to get further is to push yourself, to take all joy out of life. That's not the only option. You can enjoy things like a Michelob Ultra with friends out here at the beautiful Bishops Bay Country Club, hanging out with some Michelob Ultras.
It's beautiful. We got them right in front of us. It's staring at us. It's got that cool can with a little bit of sweat that's saying, I need to be downed enjoyably.
Only 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, tastes great. Michelob Ultra, it's only worth it if you enjoy it. 1 or 0 coming up next. It's Scalzo and Brust live here supporting the Alec Ingold Family Foundation. Got the Battle for Wisconsin Celebrity Softball game coming up on Saturday. We're hanging out here for a fabulous reception, raising money for an incredible cause. It is Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
This can't be common. I heard a crazy story from a buddy I met, and he talked about he got a vasectomy and then his wife got pregnant. That's got to be awkward, huh?
I guess.
Right? Like, you get a vasectomy, you think it can't happen.
Yeah, that's been known to happen.
Jeez. How did you get that thing to 100? I guess chop them off.
Scalzo and Brust, available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
We are definitely dealing with some delays, especially southbound 894, slowing right out of the Zoo interchange. It's a long, slow crawl all the way down and around the Hale interchange out past Forest Home. We've also got some big delays along southbound 43. Watch for them to kick in right about a Good Hope Road. They do not let up until you get past North Avenue, actually closer into the Marquette interchange. We're still going to be very heavy over the high-rise bridge. Eastbound 94 backing up from 84th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. Doesn't really let up till you get past 35th Street. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Chance of thunderstorms later on, a low of 66. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, warm and humid. Slight chance for a thunderstorm with a high of 87. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Harley-Davidson is turning 120 and you're invited. Join us July 13th through 16th at the Harley-Davidson Homecoming Festival for 4 days and nights packed with music, motoculture, and activities for enthusiasts of all ages. There won't be any time for downtime at this party. Green Day, Social Distortion, Phanogram, and Kitty Hoopla will all be there to kick the party into high gear on July 14th. You don't want to miss this. It's going to be epic. Buy your tickets today at harleydavidson.com/homecoming ticket.
This is the year to buy the woman you love a big anniversary diamond.
What's a big anniversary diamond?
A big anniversary diamond is any diamond that's at least twice as big as the one in her engagement ring.
Why twice as big?
A big anniversary diamond says, I love you twice as much today as the day I married you.
People are always so happy when they see the price we can give them.
Kessler's has wonderful prices on 1 carat, carat and a half, 2 carat, and 3 carat big anniversary diamonds.
People will ask you about your big diamond everywhere you go.
So big anniversary diamonds are the hot new trend?
It began with men buying big anniversary diamonds for the women they love. But now it's gone to a whole new level.
Women are now buying big anniversary diamonds for their men.
Women are saying, two can play that game.
I like games that two can play.
Everybody likes games that two can play.
Welcome to Kessler's.
For the location nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
Sunday. That's right, folks. Great Lakes Dragway's 2023 race season is in full swing. Come out to see our annual events like Memorial Day weekend, Labor Day weekend, Nitro Streetcar Brawl, Import Wars, Larry's Fun Fest, and Bug Fest. Looking for something new and exciting? Come see the Night of Fire Jet Show. Want the track all to yourself? Email or call about a private track rental. Go to GreatLakesDragaway.com for contact information and our full season schedule. Great Lakes Dragaway, just a burnout west of I-94 on County KR. Be there.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Greg Scalzo for Smart Spaces. How can Smart Spaces transform your business?
The technology frustrations we hear about, hands down, ease of use. We take that complexity out of it and keep it down to the bare minimum of what they need and what they use. Our goal is to lend a level of simplicity that any knowledge level can walk into that room and at a glance know exactly how to turn that room on and utilize all of its features.
Let Smart Spaces transform your business today. Visit smartspaceswi.com.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank. And you know, there's more to being a local Wisconsin bank than perfectly pronouncing Oconomowoc or Waukesha. Or is it Waukesha? But rest assured, at Great Midwest Bank, we understand the local community and economy because we're a part of it. At GMB, we provide customized lending products that others just can't offer. Experience a hometown banking difference. Head to greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
It's Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it.
Live from Bishop's Bay Country Club, hanging out here with the Alec Ingold Family Foundation. We have the Battle for Wisconsin Celebrity Softball game coming up on Saturday. Get your tickets. You could go to alecingold.com to find out exactly where you can get your tickets there. It's going to be played at Warner Park with Madison Mallards play. We're hanging out here. Fantastic event tonight. Excited about this. Going to have a live auction. There's a silent auction going on, raising money for a fabulous cause.
I've always
in the
wanted
Alec
to see you in
Ingold
action,
Family
too.
Foundation.
You know, auctioneer style. I know you'd be an amazing auctioneer. How could I want to be like your Vanna White? You know, you're Pat Sajak. I'm out and about.
I mean, I could lead with it. I don't know if I'm going to go full on. We got to do that.
No, I know. But you know what I mean? I can be out in the crowd, say, I know
we're
those
gonna have to
pockets
team
aren't
up on
empty.
this one. We're
You know
going to have
what
to
I mean?
team up on
We're
this
at Bishop's Bay. You're here for a reason. Let's help the foundation.
Are you going to reach literally into somebody's pocket?
If you dare me to, I will.
Right, you're dared. You are dared. Joshua, let's get to some 1 or 0s.
That's the question you have to ask yourself. Are you a yes or a no?
There's no such thing as a gray area. Life is binary. It's just a 1 or a 0.
He is Ben Brust. I'm Greg Scalzo. We're your contestants for 1 or 0. Josh DiMaggio is your host. He asks us a question. We say 1 for yes, 0 for no. There is no gray area. Joshy, take it away.
In a response to Liv Golf floating the idea of making Rory McIlroy and Tiger Woods captains for Liv Golf in anticipation of the merger, Rory McIlroy said, quote, "If Liv Golf was the last place on earth to play golf, I would retire." 1 or 0. You believe Rory McIlroy would retire from golf if Liv was his only option?
I don't care. I'm done with Rory, as Greg was saying. D-U-N done. I'm so sick of him. He hasn't won a major in 10 years. He's got a beautiful swing. I get it. He bops around the golf course with that dorky little walk where he's boop, 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 boop. You don't do anything. You celebrate getting second place by holding out on 18 in the Masters 2 years ago. Then you take on the face of the PGA Tour. Then you get Liv Golf gets in with the PGA Tour. Now you're trying to be even more above Liv. You're annoying, and you're not any good. If you were good, you would have won another major by now. I'm done. I'm done. Win something, then talk. He's all talk, no win. Sweet swing, bro. Put it straighter.
I give him more credit to Tiger because Tiger hasn't come out and said anything about this Liv stuff. But here's my deal is there is no difference between Liv Golf and the PGA. The PGA is owned by the Saudis now. If your issue is, hey, I don't want to play for them. I don't want to play for this fund, the PIF, then you're going to do it with the PGA. So retire. I would have a lot of respect for Rory McIlroy if he had the stones to do that. I don't think that he will. I think he's going to continue to speak out, but then cower, speak out, but then cower. He was put in a horrible, terrible position by Jay Monahan and that PGA organization. And I think it's the most under-talked about and underreported sports story this entire year. I think they've skated by based on their initial reaction to Liv Golf and then how things have evolved. And now we continue to learn more and more through the court proceedings that exist about this partnership. And the partnership is this. The Saudis bought the PGA. And the PGA folded like a chair. And the players and the executives and everybody are now just saying, I'm going to try to maximize the amount of money that I got.
Again, that from a business perspective, you're right. My issue is just with Rory from a golf perspective.
The New York Yankees caused quite a stir after they announced they added an advertisement patch to the sleeve of their iconic pinstripe jersey. 1 or 0. Sponsor patches on jerseys are a bad idea.
0. Do you really care? Are we really going to get up in arms about something that is likely going to help bring your organization more money, which they hopefully can invest in facilities and players that help make your team better so you can be a happier fan? If you get upset about that, then you're living in 1950.
I think this has to do with one thing, and that's Yankees and Yankees fans. And yeah, I'm talking to you, Matt Schneidman. Get over yourselves. You're not special. There's jersey patches all over Major League Baseball. It's not like it's the first MLB team to have jersey patches. It's not the first major American sport to have jersey patches. Not the first global sport. Soccer's had sponsors on their jerseys for how long?
And they pay their players the most amount of money.
And they quote-unquote iconic jerseys. Get over yourselves because they got pinstripes on them. Like, the New York Yankees are living in the past. They're not even a top 5 Major League Baseball team in the last 20 years.
You said it.
They're wrong?
No. That's why I said stop living in 1950 as well from a mindset and a winning standpoint.
They've won 1 World Series in the last 23 years. 1.
But the pinstripes, Greg.
1.
But the pinstripes.
Kansas City Royals have won as many World Series over the last 23.
Have the Rays won too?
The Rays have not won one.
They haven't won one?
No.
Oh, yeah, Blake Snell got screwed that one year by taking him out.
Yeah. David Price shut down too. Anyway, yes, just get over yourself. That's all I got to say.
That's all I got for 1 or 0.
That was weak.
Wow.
You're weak.
Yeah, we've just been taking subliminal shots at each other, and so I just wanted to lash out there.
Benny, he said you're weak. Does Maddie think you're weak?
No, I'd arm wrestle Joshy, and I'd take him down easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. My guy Maddie is amazing because whether it's boxing, whether it's arm wrestling, whether it's pure strength, whether it's agility, I can train for whatever, and I'm like the Rocky of Wisconsin now. If you need me to drink 6 egg yolks before I come in and then run 10 miles and then lift 100 million pounds, I can do it. And I also just love the Princeton Club. Free childcare with your membership. They have awesome locations in Madison, West Side, East Side. East Side's got new functional strength training. You can also check out in Milwaukee, the new Berlin area. That's where I go. It is awesome. It is awesome because it's a clean health club that is a community that will help you get better. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. Join today.
Ben Brust, Greg Scalzo hanging out at Bishops Bay Country Club for the Alec Ingle Family Foundation. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, get them for the Battle for Wisconsin charity softball game. That's coming up on Saturday at Warner Park with Madison Mallards play. And if you're in the Madison area and you've got time, come on by here to Bishops Bay. Great event going on, a silent auction. Food's just about to be put out, and a live auction as well featuring us. Scalzo and Brust. That's going to be something, that's for sure. We need caller 8 and caller 10, 800-990-ESPN. Caller 8, caller 10, 800-990-ESPN to play a little over-under. Caller number 8, Ben, Josh is going to give you a category in the over-under line of how many correct answers Ben and I will get within 3 minutes, over 10 guesses. You're going to say over or under, depending on how much you believe in us. Caller number 10, you're stuck on the other side, and the winner is going to win a fabulous experience at Road America.
You're going to win 4 single-day tickets to the NASCAR Xfinity race July 27th through the 9th. So caller 8, caller 10, your chance to win Road America tickets at the 4-mile race course, NASCAR Xfinity race on July 29th. I'll be there. It's a great time inside, outside of the track. Over-under coming up next.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
I just don't think you're cut out to be a great host in these spots.
That cut deep.
That was
I don't
tough.
think that cuts deep.
No, it does.
You're a good guest.
That was rude.
What?
No, come on.
Ben.
Greg.
What are we doing?
Scalzo and Brust, available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Looking for the best way to welcome new teammates or business partners to your team? Look no further. 3 Tree Marketing is a full-service branded merchandise agency using creative merchandising to share your company's story. It's who we work with here at ESPN Milwaukee. You could be the envy of others with specialized gifting and onboarding kits from 3 Tree. An amazing opportunity to best showcase what your brand is all about. Work with a team that thinks outside the box. They'll become an extension of your team just as they have ours. And you could also see what else 3 Tree Marketing can do. Set an appointment at 3treemarketing.com.
Kevin Moret here from Mentality Men's Health. We hear stories every day in our clinics that what used to work for guys doesn't anymore. Increase cardio, cut out certain food, nothing stops the changes in their bodies, especially the weight. The fact is, years of decreasing testosterone has packed on the belly fat that won't go away. We've introduced a medication, semaglutide, that helps drop 15% of the body weight on average while preserving testosterone. Join the over 20,000 Mentality clients and jumpstart your results. In Milwaukee, go to lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com.
Welcome in. This is WTMJ's Brandon Snide here with Leslie Smith from Wisconsin Harley-Davidson in Oconomowoc. Leslie, thank you for joining me today.
Hi, Brandon.
120 years, Leslie. That is what Harley-Davidson is celebrating this summer with the homecoming rally. Can you believe it? 120 years?
I don't think I can, really, but we're in the heat of it, and we're getting prepared for all the fun.
And when you say preparing for the fun, you definitely are preparing for the fun. Can you give me some of those details? When does it start? What does it run through? How many vendors? How many bands? What you got coming to Wisconsin Harley-Davidson?
Boy, do we have the fun planned for you, Wisconsin. So July 13th it starts, goes till July 16th. Hours of operation are 10 a.m. to 11 p.m., Thursday to Saturday. Sunday we're open from 10 a.m. until 8 p.m., but 23 bands, over 45 vendors, plus, of course, motorcycles. Tons of them. We are actually moved our showroom outside, so we have tons of space. We actually commandeered, luckily, with a good partnership with Dock Hounds next door, so there's tons of parking. I mean, it's a place to be.
And you don't have to be a rider, correct? You can go out there. It's a party for everybody. We're
Yeah.
celebrating Wisconsin history here.
Yes, exactly. This is a very family-friendly event, which that's the part I love about this and Harley-Davidson in general, is it's not about whether you're a rider or not a rider. This might get you come in and you look around and, wow, hey, I like that motorcycle. I think I'm going to take a class with the Riding Academy.
Or if you're like me, you walk out with a Harley. Leslie Smith, thank you for joining me. For all the info, go to WISHD.com. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
One's a Marquette Hall of Famer.
I had these peanuts because I want peanuts. But then I'm thinking I shouldn't open these probably.
The other may or not make things up from time to time.
Sure you should. I don't think it's being in the presence of peanuts.
Some people are sensitive.
Some people are.
Homer and Tony.
You
Don't
can't be
have any
around peanuts?
That's what they said. I announced it on the plane.
How can you? What allergy?
Because you're
what?
inside a closed vessel.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Hey, man, I don't know how the allergies work. I'm just telling you that's what happened. So I was afraid to open my big jar of peanuts.
Weekdays 2 to 4 on 94.5 ESPN.
Life's better with an auto policy from American Family Insurance. No matter what dreams you're driving towards. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto coverage at the right price. You'll also save up to 23% when you bundle auto with home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it.
Thursday here on Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra. These Mick Ultras are staring me in the face, Benny.
Oh, baby.
Staring me in the face. Ben Brust, Greg Scalzo
Give me a
hanging
fun
out
live auction with some Mick Ultras.
at Bishops Bay Country Club here, supporting the Alec Ingold Family Foundation. So many great causes that they build upon, that they the causes that they are a part of. Go to alecingold.com to get more details, but you can also go there to get your tickets for the Battle for Wisconsin charity softball game that's coming up on Saturday, this Saturday. First pitch at 2 p.m. there at Warner Park, where the Madison Mallards play. It is Thursday. It's time to play some over-under. Trying to get my callers.
I gotcha.
Will the guys hit the over, or will they disappoint like they usually do? It's time for Over-Under on Scalzo and Brust.
It is over-under on Scalzo and Brust. Here's how the game is played. Josh DiMaggio is a category. We don't know what it is. He's applied an over-under line for the amount of correct answers Ben and I will get out of 10 guesses within 3 minutes. We don't know what that is either. However, caller number 8, Ben in Franklin, found out. He chose the under.
Boo.
Doesn't believe in us. Chef Ed, caller number 10, on the over. Josh DiMaggio, once again, will tell us both. We'll have 3 minutes to make 10 guesses in order to get over his line. Winner wins a fabulous experience at the wonderful Road America. Joshy, what do we have this week?
I'm looking for the 10 NFL teams with the highest average attendance in 2022. The over-under is 6.5.
10 NFL teams with the highest average attendance in 2022. Is this playoffs included?
That doesn't matter.
Great question.
Average attendance? How does it work? You make an average.
I know, but likely going to have more people at a playoff game to help bump the average.
You guys ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
Chiefs?
I would go... I mean, don't you think Lambeau's on there?
Likely, yeah.
All right, let's go Packers.
Lambeau final.
Green Bay Packers are 4th with 76,000.
All right, let's go Arrowhead. Let's go Chiefs. Final answer.
Chiefs are 6th with 73,000.
Ooh.
What about I feel like Philly's crazy. Is it big though?
I don't know the size of it. I know MetLife is the biggest NFL stadium there is, but I don't know Giants or Jets and how much they're selling out. I don't trust that one as much.
I don't either.
Mile High is a big stadium, but they were horrible last year. I still think the Broncos is going to be on the list.
What about, the Saints?
2 minutes.
Oh, what about U.S. Bank? The Vikings were good last year.
All right, we'll go Vikings. Final answer. Yeah, it's not that big, U.S. Bank is. Having been there before.
No jokes during this.
Let's go with the Buffalo Bills. Final answer. They have to sell out every game. Wow.
The Bills are 18th.
All right, let's go New York Giants. Final answer.
Giants are 3rd with 76K.
And then we got that's right. New York Jets. Final answer.
Jets are 2nd with 78.
Good for the Jets fans, man.
Cowboys.
Oh, good one. Jerry World.
The most obvious one. Dallas Cowboys.
Shut up,
93K.
Josh. So we have 1 2 3 4 5. We're 5 of 7.
Do you want to go Broncos?
What's the over-under? 6.5? We got to
Yep.
get 2 of 3?
Yep.
I mean, you felt pretty confident about the Broncos.
They were just so bad last year.
I would table them.
All right, then what are we going to go with?
Is it Saints? Is it Niners? Is it...
Rams were bad. SoFi's big.
Well, but LA doesn't show
30
up.
seconds.
Maybe because the road teams go to LA and they travel, that fills with both Rams and road team fans. SoFi?
Bronco country. Let's ride. Final answer.
Broncos are 5th.
You know where I'm getting at with the Rams there. It's a stretch.
Saints? Superdome?
I said Saints. Saints are on my
10,
on my write-down list.
9,
Saints final
8,
answer.
7, 6, 5,
Pick one.
4,
Ben Brust.
3,
At
2,
the buzzer!
1.
Rams final.
No!
Oh, no, I got it right.
Yep, but you guys are
Wait,
still one
what?
short.
No, we're not. I got Lambeau, Arrowhead,
Oh, you're
Giants,
right. I'm
Jets,
wrong.
Cowboys, Broncos, Rams. Boom, roasted.
At the buzzer, just like at Michigan. What a shot by you.
Oh, Joshy oh, yeah, wow. It's raining cats and dogs out here.
We're under a tent. No worries. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I just melt.
You melt in the rain?
Yeah.
What a way to say that. Well, a big congratulations to Chef Ed. You win a fabulous experience at Road America.
NASCAR Xfinity race, July 29.
Gotta love that NASCAR Xfinity race. Ben and Franklin.
Suck it.
Ditto. 800-990-3776. Twitter at Scalzo and Brust. We got a poll posted there. We're hanging out at Bishops Bay Country Club here at the Alec Ingold Family Foundation. We'll be back in 2 minutes to talk a little bit about Packers Hall of Fame. Sterling Sharp, Mike Holmgren eligible to enter the Pro Football Hall of Fame. If you had to stake your claim on a current Green Bay Packer who's on the team right now to make the NFL Hall of Fame, who's your guy? Back in 2 minutes at Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
We are definitely dealing with some delays, especially southbound 894, slowing right out of the Zoo interchange. It's a long, slow crawl all the way down and around the Hale interchange out past Forest Home. We've also got some big delays along southbound 43. Watch for them to kick in right about a Good Hope Road. They do not let up until you get past North Avenue, actually closer into the Marquette interchange. We're still going to be very heavy over the high-rise bridge. Eastbound 94 backing up from 84th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. Doesn't really let up till you get past 35th Street. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight. Chance of thunderstorms later on, a low of 66. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, warm and humid. Slight chance for a thunderstorm with a high of 87. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Betty Boziga on 94.5 ESPN.
Woo! I am thirsty today. Definitely going to need a cold one. There's the one. Justin from Downdren's Distillery is joining me on Ben's Beer Fridge to share what separates Downdren's from other distilleries. And for him, it's about being local.
We're a fairly new distillery, but we've created a lot of things that are, again, focused on ingredients you can find in Wisconsin, like Door County cherries, fresh peppers that are grown in Cottage Grove, where the distillery is, and then have that distributed throughout the state to make cocktails that have a Wisconsin flair to them and a very consistent taste, and at the same time are really fun to make into your own version of any kind of cocktail, too.
Thanks again to Justin from Downdren's for giving us some insight on the local connections they have, whether it's beer or the best cocktail on tap for you this summer. Remember, folks, the fridge should always be stocked. Ben Brust here. Catch Scalzo and Brust weekdays 4 to 6 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust.
Live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue.
It's a party, baby.
This is Scalzo and Brust. Woo! Presented by Michelob Ultra.
It's a party, baby.
On 94.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
It's a party, baby. Woo! It's a party, baby.
From Bishops Bay Country Club. Beautiful Bishops Bay Country Club.
Even when it's raining, it's beautiful.
Tremendous view of the wonderful Lake Mendota here in the Madison area. Ben Brust, Greg Scalzo hanging out with the Alec Ingold Family Foundation. An incredible auction. Live auction coming up featuring us. We're going to be auctioneering it. A silent auction going on right now. Dinner is just being served. So if you're in the Madison area, get on out to Bishops Bay. We're inviting you here. And come hang out with us. It's going to be a blast. And, of course, that's all leading up to the Battle for Wisconsin charity softball game coming up Saturday at Warner Park, where the Madison Mallards play. Get your tickets there, AlecIngold.com, AlecIngold.com/foundation to continue to learn more about all of the great causes that the foundation supports. Josh and Amaji running the show. Back at the Gruber offices, one call, That's All Studios at the 3rd Street Market Hall in Milwaukee. Colin Rousseau! Downtown off the Capitol Square in Madison, the Everlight Solar Studios. And you, the Scalzo and Brust family, calling, texting 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776, Twitter at Scalzo and Brust. On Twitter, we do have a poll posted. With so much uncertainty heading into the 2023 season, which unknown are you more sure about? Is it the Badger football program with the new coaching staff and Luke Fickell and Phil Longo, Tressel and the rest? Or is it the Green Bay Packers with Jordan Love and a young core? 68% of the Scalzo and Brust family is more sure about the Badgers than they are about the Packers. Packers coming in at 32%. Grandpa Bandit chimes in and says, I'm more sure that Badgers will be at least 9-3. Packers could be anywhere from 5-12 to 10-7, and I wouldn't be surprised.
That's right. Again, there's ranges, right? And with the ranges that we've put the Packers and the Badgers, I have the Packers range 5 to 9 games of winning, and I forget what Grandpa's name is. Is it Grandpa? What was it?
Grandpa
James. Grandpa James says 10 wins. So, again, it's somewhere in that range. The Badgers' range, I think, is 8 wins to 10 wins. It's a little bit smaller. But, again, it's one of those things where it's so much easier in college football to continue dominance, even though it was a down year, with the talent that they brought back, the talent that they're bringing in, knowing that, again, you have a coach in college football that went to the college football playoff in Cincinnati with more resources at Wisconsin, and they've done everything right in the offseason.
Yeah, I get that. I want to move on to the NFL Hall of Fame, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, I should say, Canton, Ohio. A lot of the eligible I don't even want to say contestants. A lot of the folks that are eligible to be voted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame released. Mike Holmgren, Sterling Sharp among them, obviously both hailing from the Green Bay Packers, as Ben Brust has finally re-entered the camera picture. You're scared of the rain. Like, you really are scared of the rain.
I'm not scared of the rain.
The last
You're just
15 minutes, this last 15 minutes when it started to rain, your focus has been taken away.
It's not my fault that you're not sitting near the crack where it's just flying in here.
We had 5 people moving the entire table out and away from
I'm fine. I'm focused. It's a telltale sign that I'm not focused.
Yeah, that was the last shout. And guess what? The rain's gone. The sun's going to usher in as we head into this beautiful event here at Bishop's Country Club. What I want to know is which Packer that's currently on the team, which current Packer, coaches, executives, or players would you currently believe, or would you bet on right now to be a Pro Football Hall of Famer? Is it going to be Jordan Love because you think this is the start of a Hall of Fame career following 2 surefire Hall of Famers in Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers? Is it Aaron Jones because you think his career is going to continue at this pace for another 6, 7, 8, 10 years, which is probably what will be required from a running back standpoint? Sadler and Madison with an early vote in here says David Bakhtiari, who obviously the longevity of his career is in question after that knee injury. Is it Jair Alexander, an all-pro caliber cornerback? Keyshawn Nixon, will he become one of the great special teamers of all time? Who would you put your bet on? 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. We'll open up the phone lines. You can text us as well.
Does Mason Crosby count?
Is he currently on the Green Bay Packers?
Oh, then no. Again, you're right. My focus isn't there. I mean, the easy answer is Jair Alexander. From what he's done from when he came into the draft, they obviously gave him a big contract, so he's going to be here for a long time, for at least another 2-3 years. And I think he's due for a big season. He really is. And if Rashawn Gary can get healthy and help get pressure on quarterbacks, especially the weak schedule that they play, they don't like throwing at Jair as it is because he's kind of a shutdown type guy. But he's also a playmaker, and so I look forward to seeing what Jair can do this year. I wanted to take an outside shot at Quay Walker, but the idea of the Packers, if he's really good, right, and he's at the end of his rookie contract, do they pay an inside linebacker a lot of money? But it depends on how he evolves that position, right? You hear a lot of talk about him moving around, him being more involved in the pass rush. So that's my outside shot if I was going to take a risk. I like the upside of Quay Walker and his versatility, not just as an inside linebacker.
I don't know if there's enough playmaking in Jair Alexander's world to make it into the Hall of Fame as a cornerback. I like the Quay Walker. Quay Walker's on my short list. My short list, Quay Walker. I think he's going to be used to rush the quarterback a lot more this year and moving forward than before. And as we get into this positional, this world of positionless football, I don't think he's going to be viewed as an inside linebacker, and he's got the athleticism. He's young enough to be able to make that impact for a long time. I think Bakhtiari's got to be on there just in case he continues, but I don't trust that knee.
I don't either.
Christian Watson, I think, is on my short list, but he'd have to put up monster numbers and become an all-time playmaker, but he's got sort of the speed and size makeup to do it. Josiah DeGuara has to be on the list. In all seriousness, like a Luke Musgrave, maybe. Like, I trust more taking a flyer on a young guy that we don't quite know about, more so than I do somebody that we've already started to see. And I think that's telling about where we're at.
Where the Packers team's at. Yeah, it's a good point. It's almost like it's the way we say pick your guy in terms of a rookie. Pick your guy could mean you're picking a guy that could be something beyond, I don't know, just an impact player heading into 2023.
I don't think Romeo Doubs is ever going to be a Hall of Fame guy. That offensive line, if you're going to go with anybody, it's got to be Bakhtiari.
What about Elton Jenkins?
It's really hard as an interior lineman.
But he can play every position. He's played tackle.
He's really valuable, but it's also about the name. You know what I mean? Like in order to do it, Matt LaFleur might be the most obvious. Like, if I were to put betting odds on it, LaFleur would probably be the favorite.
See, I disagree.
Got off to one of the hottest starts in the history of NFL coaching, and we also don't know where his coaching career is going to take him, and he could do it as a young guy for another 25 years.
The longevity's there, but also, what if they stink again? They stunk last year, and he was a big part of the reason why they stunk, along with Aaron Rodgers. And if he stinks with Jordan Love, all right, this whole Shanahan, McVay, McDaniels, LaFleur coaching tree, he's at the bottom of that.
Dave from Aaron says, my vote is going to Jair Alexander. After that, I'm putting it on Christian Watson. Pat from Madison said, did Ben just randomly start saying Jair oddly? Yes, he did. 414 says, David Bakhtiari in the offensive line if he keeps up his play. Jordan Love is my wish, of course, but it's very possible nobody on the current team can make the Hall of Fame.
Again, telling.
I would still go with Matt LaFleur. I think that's the smart money. And speaking of smart, let me give a shout out to Smart Spaces. It's a virtual world, and like it or not, your company has to navigate this virtual world. Hybrid work, virtual work, but that doesn't mean the journey has to be painful. What if your company's space was smarter, technologically integrated, and able to perform beautifully across all virtual meeting environments? With Smart Spaces, that dream becomes a reality. Smart Spaces gets you the right technology for the right reasons with a listen-first culture to learn your business's needs and provide seamless solutions for your office. It's who we work with for our build-out at the 3rd Street Market Hall for GKB Milwaukee. Find out how you can improve your business today at smartspaceswi.com. That's smartspaceswi.com. Jason Wilde joins us next. It's Scalzo and Brust live from Bishops Bay Country Club supporting the Alec Ingold Family Foundation, and we're presented by Michelob Ultra.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
Was it known that you were going to make margaritas? Austin here says no.
One would assume that the Marg guy is going to make margaritas.
The Marg guy, I go back to.
Self-proclaimed.
Yeah, thanks, Joshy.
But it's a thing.
But that's just in your personal life.
Your head.
No, Austin knows this.
I never would have thought of Ben as the Marg guy.
I don't care what you think.
Scalzo and Brust, available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
We are definitely dealing with some delays, especially southbound 894 slowing right out of the Zoo interchange. It's a long, slow crawl all the way down and around the Hale interchange out past Forest Home. We've also got some big delays along southbound 43. Watch for them to kick in right about a Good Hope Road. They do not let up until you get past North Avenue, actually closer into the Marquette interchange. We're still going to be very heavy over the high-rise bridge. Eastbound 94 backing up from 84th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. Doesn't really let up till you get past 35th Street. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Chance of thunderstorms later on, a low of 66. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, warm and humid. Slight chance for a thunderstorm with a high of 87. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Golf with us this year at the Bog Golf Course in Saukville. All week long, enter for your chance to hang out with your favorite ESPN Milwaukee personalities, including our very Benny Big Time, Ben Brust, at the 2023 Delzer ESPN Milwaukee Open on August 8th. Entering to win is simple. Find 94.5 ESPN on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel and send a screenshot proving you are a subscriber to the ESPN Milwaukee talk and text line at 800-990-3776. We'll draw a winner at random who will get to bring 3 friends to the Bog on August 8th and spend the day on the links with ESPN Milwaukee, including, as I mentioned, big-time Benny Brust. Visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com for full contest rules.
Life's better with an auto policy from American Family Insurance. No matter what dreams you're driving towards. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto coverage at the right price. You'll also save up to 23% when you bundle auto with home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Harley-Davidson is turning 120 and you're invited. Join us July 13th through 16th at the Harley-Davidson Homecoming Festival for 4 days and nights packed with music, moto culture, and activities for enthusiasts of all ages. There won't be any time for downtime at this party. Foo Fighters, Cody Jinks, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, and White Reaper will all be there to kick the party into high gear on July 15th. You don't want to miss this. It's going to be epic. Buy your tickets today at harleydavidson.com/homecoming ticket.
Oh, you forgot to clean out your backpack since school ended? Oh, rotten.
Let's make our windows.
Well, you make a great point. Tell you what, let's clean out your backpack and then we'll...
from Pella.
Well, we can't do anything about rotten lunches. Pella's lifetime warranty on wood windows and doors makes it so that you'll never have to worry about rotting windows again. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, make payments as low as $35 per month per window and $78 per patio door. Visit PellaWI.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Spending more time at home? Don't forget that 94.5 ESPN's on your smart speaker. Just ask Alexa to open 94.5 ESPN. 94.5 ESPN on Alexa is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it.
Don't need drama. I just need one word to get to you. So tell me now, do you want it? 'Cause these dancing feet don't cry to the rhythm they cry for you. And every Saturday night that you ain't keep my tears blue. And these blinding lights, they shine so bright like we're on the moon.
Live from Bishop's Bay Country Club, here with the Alec Ingold Family Foundation. An incredible event tonight leading up to the Battle for Wisconsin charity softball game coming up on Saturday. Go to AlecIngold.com to get your tickets. You can find it there. All of the events. The Ingold Family Foundation supports and draws attention to the adoption and foster care system. And through the foundation, Alec is active in teaching young people financial literacy and professional development skills. He's Ben Brust. I'm Greg Scalzo. Scalzo and Brust, of course, presented by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. We are now joined by our guy, our Packers guy. You hear him every day from 9 to noon across ESPN Wisconsin alongside Packer Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher on Wilde and Tausch. And, of course, you read him at the Wisconsin State Journal and at The Athletic. It is Jason Wilde. What's up, Jason?
Hi, guys. Great work you're doing with Alec. He's such a good dude and such a good cause. So I love that you guys are. You're like, what kind of responsibilities do you have? I've heard conflicting reports on what your role actually is at this event.
Our role is we're kind of running the program for the event tonight, and they're going to be doing a little live auction action. So Alec is going to do like a lot of the heavy lifting for this, Jason.
Yeah,
We're doing
he's
like-
very clean cut, very well spoken.
We're doing what we're good at, which is like how I prefer to do a lot of charity events, which is let me introduce the people who actually are important, get out of the way, and then read the sponsors, and then do the auction. So that's our responsibilities tonight.
Okay. Well, I knew Alec was a smart guy, greater Green Bay Metroplex guy, Bayport guy. So I knew he was smart. So he's smart enough not to have you guys have too huge a role, but yet have you involved. So that's good work on everybody's part. Good. Glad you guys are doing it. That's awesome.
Yeah, and thank you for taking time out for Scalzo and Brust on the vacation.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So
we very
what's
much
funny
appreciate
is
it.
I think the only producer who actually checked in with me to confirm that I was out all week was Chris Larson for Homer and Tony. So I have now reached a point. I even appeared on TMJ today. So I have appeared on every show, I believe, except Homer and Tony. So I feel like I got to call those guys tomorrow and say, hey, thanks a lot for respecting my vacation, but it's not even a vacation. We're going to see our buddy Willie Porter, who's playing in town tonight. But other than that, I've just been trying to get my life in order.
That's a slippery slope, though, Jason, because you know how much Homer, you guys love going after each other. Like, if you are volunteering yourself on this vacation, it sets a bad precedent for future vacations.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't need vacations. I needed some of those 3-hour windows of Wilde and Tausch to get some stuff done this week and 2 weeks ago. So I don't mind.
Jesse gladly is happy to hear that.
He's thrilled. He's thrilled. I've never met anyone who was more eager for me to take vacation. Now, he's more eager than Paul.
Yeah, he even gave you the July 3rd day off. But regardless, you did join Wilde and Tausch earlier this week, and you talked about the way that maybe people around 1265 have been talking about Aaron Rodgers, talking crap, potentially. And, what is your main takeaway that these conversations probably weren't had while he was in the building?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like any breakup, right? Like, it's been a long time since I had one of those. But, you say things after that person is out of your life that you certainly didn't say when you were together. And you vent to people that know them, right? I mean, I'm not going to betray any secrets, but I have plenty of friends who went through breakups, including the quarterback that we're talking about here. And, we all have conversations about the people that we've broken up with. And that's what this was. This was a breakup, and not a particularly amicable one. I mean, I know I bring this up a lot. I still can't get over the fact that Brian Gutekunst, in a 180-degree opposite turn from Ted Thompson when he traded Brett Favre, Brian Gutekunst called trading Aaron Rodgers to the Jets a good day for the Packers. Like, I don't know if that was a Freudian slip or what, but he said it's a good day for the Packers, it's a good day for the Jets. And then he talked so much about how excited they were to be getting the $40.3 million dead cap hit all on this year's cap, so it's cleared for next year, that, no matter what they may have said and what Rodgers might have said on McAfee about how much he loves Green Bay and the people, he did not love Goody, and Goody didn't love him. And this is a breakup. And so people say crappy things about the people they break up with. I'm sure Rodgers, now that he's in New York, has probably said a thing or two to Cobb or to Alan Lazard or one of the other 36 ex-Packers that are on the roster.
Who's winning the breakup, Jason?
Oh, I mean, first of all, no one is winning it now. I really appreciate everyone's optimism and excitement for Jordan Love. But the breakup, the decision will be made when we get through the season, right? I mean, look, I expect Aaron Rodgers to play very well, maybe not MVP well, but well. I expect the Jets to win a bunch of games despite a difficult schedule, and I expect them to make the playoffs. I don't expect them to win the Super Bowl. I don't expect them to go to the AFC Championship game. If they do, great for them. And the Packers, I expect to go 6-11. I expect Jordan Love to have some growing pains. I expect them to play much better in the last, quarter of the season than they do in the first 3 quarters. And I expect them to set themselves up to be possibly good in 2024. That's where my optimism lies. And I told that to Jesse and Tausch the other day when I was on with them that, I watched the 2000 team get it together late in the year under Mike Sherman in his first year and win 4 in a row and set themselves up to be a pretty good football team in 2001. And I saw the 2006 team in McCarthy's first year play pretty well down the stretch, win 4 games, and set themselves up for a run to the NFC Championship game in 2007. So it's been done before, not with, obviously LaFleur's not a first-year head coach, he's a first-year quarterback, first-year starter at quarterback. But this is going to be an opportunity for them, in my opinion, to have one of those seasons that springboards them into success a year from now.
Talking with Jason Wilde here on Scalzo and Brust across ESPN Wisconsin. Jason, Sterling Sharp, Mike Holmgren eligible to enter the Pro Football Hall of Fame. If you had to bet on any current Packer player or coach to be a Pro Football Hall of Famer, like, where would you make that bet?
I would put it on Bakhtiari. I think he's going to have a second act with someone else after this season. Kind of like Andrew Whitworth. Remember how he was with the Bengals for a long time and then won a Super Bowl with the Rams? David Bakhtiari, I think, has made it very clear that he does not expect his team to win the Super Bowl this year, calling it a rebuilding year. So he's going to go to some team, maybe the Jets, who knows, that needs a left tackle next year. He's going to make some good money, and he's going to go have success there. He's going to continue to succeed, and I think he's going to be a Pro Football Hall of Fame tackle, which would mean that if they part ways with him after this season, they will have will have moved on from Devontae Adams during the 2022 offseason, Aaron Rodgers during the 2023 offseason, and David Bakhtiari during the 2024 offseason, which would mean potentially that each offseason they got rid of a future Hall of Famer, which I don't know if I would want that as on my resume or on my epitaph if I was Goody.
I would agree. We'll see what comes of it all. Jason, we'll give you some time back. We've got to run and go run this program here, but thank you for jumping on during the vacation. We really appreciate it.
All right, guys. I appreciate you. Take care. Be good.
Jason Wilde at Tausch 9 to noon every day. Of course, The Athletic, the Wisconsin State Journal. Read him there as well. Follow him on Twitter at Jason J. Wilde. Very excited to get this started here shortly. If you're in the Madison area, come by Bishops Bay Country Club. If you're not, make sure you get your tickets for Battle for Wisconsin charity softball game coming up on Saturday at Warner Park where the Madison Mallards play. Ben Brust, you sat down a little bit earlier with Alec Ingold. We're going to hear you and Alec chop it up, all things Badgers, Packers, what he's up to. Give us a little taste.
I mean, he's insightful. We talked a little bit about his experience with a Kyle Shanahan-type coach in Mike McDaniel, who's part of that Matt LaFleur tree, and he gives some good insight on how that's going to help Jordan Love having 4 years in the system versus Tua learning it in 1.
Alec Ingold on Scalzo and Brust coming up next. We're presented by Michelob Ultra.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
Use your freaking brain! No!
Scalzo and Brust, available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
The delays continue with an accident along southbound 41 right about at Silver Spring off on the shoulder. So just heads up with that. It's going to be slowing things down. Highway Q to the Zoo interchange is about a 20-minute ride, so it'll be an extra 6. Eastbound on 94 from the Zoo into the Marquette. That's going to take you about 15 minutes with the westbound side at 12. And then 894 southbound from the Zoo to the Hale, going to be 11 minutes there, an extra 6. Traffic is brought to you by the Lake Country Dockhounds in Oconomowoc. Enjoy a family-friendly baseball experience in Lake Country where summer nights last longer. Go to dockhounds.com to get tickets. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, chance of thunderstorms later on, a low of 66. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, warm and humid. Slight chance for a thunderstorm with a high of 87. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirits deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. Where your satisfaction is their plan of action.
Magoo's on the Mound is your game day headquarters. Located on 59th and Blue Mound, just minutes from the ballpark. Magoo's has food options for everyone and a vast selection of craft beers and cocktails. Enjoy Enjoy some drinks and watch all the games with your buds. Or stay entertained with pool, darts, trivia, poker, or live music. Plus, Magoo's on the Mound offers plenty of free parking and shuttles to all home games for the crew. Check out their food and drink menu as well as upcoming events at magoos.biz. That's magoos.biz.
The James Imaging Systems people, they're one reason why so many businesses choose to do business with James, like Brookfield GMC, controller Jay Doyle.
They're compatriots to the point where when I call, they act like they're your best friend.
Document imaging technology, managed print services, content management solutions, all supported by the James Imaging Systems people. People who are dedicated to helping your business do business better.
They do a great job. They're like it's one of your workers. They want to help.
Not tomorrow, not next week. Help when you need it. That's James Imaging Systems.
Yeah, they do a great job. They're there immediately, and it's a great feeling because I know they care.
James Imaging Systems.
I do love working with James Imaging. It's perfect.
Put the good people at James Imaging Systems to work for your business. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local office technology partner.
For a hot ride this summer? Find yours this July at Potawatomi. You could win your share of $400,000 in cash and prizes, or rumble all summer long in one of 4 brand new Harley-Davidson motorcycles. It's the Hot Ride Motorcycle Giveaway this July, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Visit paysbig.com/hot ride for more details. Must be 21 and a club member to play.
You wanted lower prices? Fleet Farm's got them. Like KT Nut and Fruit Blend, now only $32.99 for a 20-pound bag. Or how about $3.49 a quart for Resolute Conventional or Synthetic Blend Motor Oil? Also, Resolute Classic Green Antifreeze is now just $10.99 a gallon. And control summer weeds with Gordon's Amine 240 Weed Killer. 2.5 gallons, now only $69.99. Look for new lower prices on everything you need for everyday life with price drops at Fleet Farm.
Make your statement with Fast Signs of Glendale. You have an idea, and Fast Signs of Glendale can make it happen. 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee works with Fast Signs of Glendale on their vehicle lettering, studio and event signage, and much more. Your company should consider Fast Signs of Glendale with your next custom sign project. Big or small, they can do them all. See their work at fastsigns.com. That's fastsigns.com. Fast Signs of Glendale, proud marketing partner of 94.5 ESPN.
It's Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it.
Welcome into Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra, and we are very excited to be joined. I say we, even though it's just Ben Brust right now. Greg Scalzo taking a little snooze. Ben Brust here alongside Alec Ingold. And if you've been listening to Scalzo and Brust throughout the day, we are at Bishops Bay Country Club and have had the opportunity to promote Alec Ingold's Ingold Family Foundation, and the Battle for Wisconsin softball game is in its 2nd annual year. I had the opportunity to play in it last year. Not going to play in it this year, but it all is for a good cause, and so I am so happy to be joined by Alec just to share insights into why you started your foundation. We'll hit on some Badgers, some Packers, but maybe, Alec, to welcome you into the show, just tell the audience, what your motivation was to start the foundation and how it's going.
I want to know your motivation for the leadoff dinger that you hit the first at-bat ever at the Battle for Wisconsin. What was the motivation there? What was the mind? Because you were struggling in the home run derby.
Well, yeah. Look, I'm not a power guy.
No,
I was leading off, and I got on base every time. I was very proud of my performance, even though. You guys got us pretty good last year. It's football versus basketball in the Battle for Wisconsin softball game. I think it was one of those things where adrenaline took over, right? Like, when the lights are on,
you're a gamer.
The stars got to shine.
Yeah.
And my goal after hitting a home run was like, all right, now that Decker's behind me, and he's a huge baseball guy.
Right.
And he had some dingers.
He was smoking the scoreboard. It was out of the park.
Yeah, so my goal after having my glory moment of sliding into home base for the first run, being a clown, was get on base and hopefully get knocked in by Sam, and he did every single time. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. That one felt really cool. We lost, but it was one of those things where it's like, all right, no matter what happens, like, I made an impact.
That was the moment. That was the defining moment of the game is literally you sliding into home plate, and I don't know if you're gassed because you were sprinting around the bases as fast as you could, or slow trot, and then it was just like, let's dive, chest bump bunky, like, dude, it was perfect.
Full of energy, and that's what, like, look, that's what we're going to be lacking at the Battle for Wisconsin this year.
There's not going to be there's not going to be a leadoff at bat like that ever again, ever.
Well, and so I did get asked to play. Mm-hmm. Now, you might have been in this situation before in your life where last year it was my girlfriend's birthday, and it was on a Saturday, and I was in an event in which I wasn't able to be present with her. And so this year it is the day of the Battle for Wisconsin. So I had to, I don't want to say cut my losses because we're still involved here today at Bishops Bay Country Club and, promoting the event. So at least I can feel a part of it. That being said, no basketball guys, just a bunch of meathead football players?
Priorities. I mean, you guys have your stuff going on, and you got Decker, he's MVP, London Lions stud, and he's rehabbing a little bit. So we had our guys, we had our asks, none of it worked out, so then we just went alumni versus current guys, and I think that's going to be a lot of juice. It's going to be a lot of fun getting all these guys that are playing on Saturdays here at Camp Randall connected to all these old guys with all the dad strength, everything we can muster up. Like, we're giving all of our glory days
strength, and now you're adding dad strength to this.
It's kind of like the two-headed monster over here on the alumni team.
Yeah, and so it's funny. I really like the way that you have knowledge. Like me, I love the University of Wisconsin, and it seems, as someone who grew up in the state, you do as well. How much do you keep in track with former, current players, whether it's basketball, football, women's volleyball, or track? Like, how much do you keep in the know of what's going on with Badger athletics throughout your professional NFL career?
I think the coolest part about being a Badger is you have your group of guys. Mm-hmm. You have your core guys. And those guys, those are the lifelong friends. 10 plus guys in the group chat that we're always feeding it. But then you have that, like, all of them have their networks into Wisconsin, and they all are reaching out to those guys. So that's where you have a guy that stands up in my wedding, Craig Howe, and he's married to a Wisconsin volleyball player whose sister plays at Wisconsin. So you're watching volleyball that way, and you have other guys that are connected to basketball, women's basketball. So you just become a fan. And once you get to that, like, 4, 5, 6 years out of the system, you don't really know anybody personally.
I love that. That's been my favorite
thing. You're
like
proud dad moments, and you're like you're watching it from a distance, and you're just so proud, and it's so fun to watch.
Because if we're being honest with each other, right? So when you graduate, there's still 3 to 4 years in which you knew guys, knew about them. Like, look, we're college kids at the time, and people are kind of idiots as they find their way through life in college. And you're like, it's not that you dislike some of them. You're like, I know too much about you. It's kind of hard to always root for you, but I love not knowing anything about anyone on the field. I just know that they love the university the same way as me, and now I can just root for everyone and not know what their downfalls are.
100%.
We all have them.
You get a little too close, right? You get a little too close. You see all the blame. No, it's cool to be a part of that and then have that extended network. Everyone just feeds into it, and you, like you said, everyone loves the university. You don't come here and not love it.
Yeah, that's the one thing is, like, you fall in love the moment you step on campus, and if there's an opportunity, like, if you truly know the university and know the bigger scope, and obviously you've had a successful professional career, but even without that, like, that probably wouldn't have changed your mindset, knowing that you had the education, the friends, the alumni base, and all the opportunities that come with it. So I love that we're getting a chance to talk to you. Now, we did jump into the softball game, but I do want to give you an open forum here because you do a lot of great stuff in the community, and you just came from a financial literacy event. So tell us about the Ingold Family Foundation and the motivation behind that.
Yeah, the Ingold Family Foundation, it really started as opening up on my adoption story and relating to kids that are underrepresented, underprivileged, and on lunch assist or whatever, in and around the foster care system. They're moving around a lot in the summertime, and being able to give those kids opportunities to go to a football camp, to go to a financial literacy camp, to be a kid for a little bit and just kind of drop those boundaries that they're putting up all the time, and then relate to them at a very deep level. I think all of those experiences that we're able to give them in the Madison area with Gift of Adoption, with the Boys and Girls Club, with UW Credit Union, ESPN Wisconsin, like all these people and these community members coming together to serve as a community, as a team, we're really building a team to help support these kids that might not get those opportunities, open perspective so that kids can feel proud of what they want to do in life.
You don't have to name names, but there was a specific example, like over the last couple of years, where you've seen like your teamwork and everything you do provide an opportunity for someone, and you see them thrive after that?
I think literally just today, having an opportunity of a kid he's up here for the summer, had to travel a little bit, doesn't live here specifically, but he's a part of the Boys and Girls Club, and giving him a platform to speak his heart and his truth. And very nervous, like not nervous, but reserved, introvert. All of a sudden you get these kids out of their comfort zone. We do public speaking. So we got to get them on. You got to get up for a minute, and you have to either define what your name is, what it means, how you want to change that, or what do you want to do in life. And dude took it. We were supposed to be for 1 minute. It might have been 5.5, 6. And it was just like so much had to get off his chest. And you could just feel the energy, the confidence that started to exude. And he started pacing a little bit, audience interaction. I'm like, dude, like, let's go.
Yeah, and feel free to not answer this if you don't want to, but I'm guessing at some point in your life, being adopted, you were provided an opportunity in which you had a moment where you're like, I can do more than maybe I thought I could, which led to you maybe, growing as a football player. Like, did you have like a aha moment like the kid maybe had today speaking?
I think the aha moment for me was really understanding if family is different, and like I don't know anybody blood related, but I have 2 parents that love me more than anything else, and we might not look alike, but man, you can't split us apart, right? And then you end up having a wife, and you start thinking about family and building that. You have such a unique sense of community and family and the people that you care about. I feel like that's the aha moment. You can look around and you can feel people's heart and their energy and who's genuine and authentic and wants to serve the person next to them. And that's where you can build that core circle of trust where a lot of people, it's kind of a blessing and a curse. I remember looking in a mirror and not being able to see myself in the eyes because I have that feeling. I have the disconnect of never seeing that visual image. But on the other side, you can see it everywhere. You can see those people and really truly gauge that.
Well, it's awesome that you're continuing to stay involved and growing your foundation as we're joined here on Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra, by Alec Ingold, former Badger, 4-year NFL pro, and there's been a lot of change in Madison. Obviously, a head coach that's coming in from Cincinnati, Luke Fickell, former Ohio State guy. As a fullback, I'm guessing this probably is something that you get excited about, hearing that he's not going to change the overall identity. He is, when I had a chance to talk to him, he talked about winning in the trenches. And you're a guy that wins in the trenches. Does that excite you a little bit?
Love trench talk. Love trench talk. I feel like I'm 6 foot tall. The trenches, it's the 6'6" big guys, right? But I have that natural leverage and that natural body lean a little bit. Fullbacks, I don't know if they're going to be playing very much. But absolutely love that talk. Love the grittiness of Wisconsin that's going to stick around. And then I love what all the what's the word? Ingenuity, intuitiveness, creating. What's the word I'm looking for?
I think they all can work.
All of the above. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be fun. So it's going to be fun to watch as a fan.
A hybrid approach of taking the ground and pound along with an air raid system. Again, Luke Fickell was a defensive tackle when he played. So, if you're a head coach and he's got a wrestling background. I saw Squat Fest that was going on where the locker room was like a rave party, like nothing I've ever seen in my life. People getting after it in the weight room. And if I've learned one thing talking with some people in this Badger football program, they want to win in the weight room in the offseason. That hopefully will translate to this coming season. We're going to take a quick break because we have still more to hit on. I have a ton to hit on with Alec Ingold here. Ingold Family Foundation is at alecingold.com/foundation. How can others get involved and donate and see what's going on?
Yeah, alecingold.com/foundation is great. We have Gift of Adoption out here as well as the Boys and Girls Club. Great community partners in the Madison area. So a couple of different nonprofits that we like supporting.
Ben Brust here alongside Alec Ingold. More Scalzo and Brust coming up next as we hit on some more football topics. I like the trenches. I like the experiences. We talk some Wisconsin. We'll talk some NFL next with Alec Ingold here on Scalzo and Brust.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
The doors are so good that I even figured out how to lock them. Remember last weekend?
You did?
And I'm a dummy.
Scalzo and Brust, available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Yeah, they're football guys, but they don't shy away from the big topics of the day.
So you won't listen to their music because of this? Was it a bad breakup?
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by American Family Insurance.
I don't know. You play one of their songs on
this
our
guy
show.
broke up with Florida Georgia Line. You should like him more.
I do like Tyler. Yeah, it's a good career move for him.
You're still not going to go to the concert.
Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Don't give in to that constant joint pain. Take control. Take back your quality of life today with help from QC Kinetics. Hey, it's Tony Smith. QC Kinetics is helping people every day here in Milwaukee and across the country with their amazing non-surgical treatments that repair and restore damaged joint tissue. They use the latest advances in regenerative medicine, taking your own body's healing agents and concentrating them right in the area where you have the agonizing pain. This incredible non-invasive approach helps you take back control of your body, relieving pain in the knees, hips, shoulders, or back. No invasive surgery, no harmful drugs or steroids, and no downtime. Listen, summertime needs to be about having fun, making memories, golfing, hiking, enjoying the outdoors. Take control now and start living pain-free again. Call now for your free consultation with QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance because you'll feel protected no matter how the wind blows. All so you can keep enjoying the home of your dreams. And our expert agents can help you save up to 23% when you bundle home with auto. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. Get a quote? Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Kelley Blue Book is the one-stop shop for pricing, fixing, selling, and instant cash offering. Instant cash offer is exactly what it sounds like. An official offer to buy or trade your car. Just enter your VIN or license plate, answer a few questions about your car's history, and what kind of condition it's in. In minutes, you'll receive an offer to sell or trade your car that you can be sure is fair. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car and schedule a time to meet. For all of the its, KBB.com.
If you're hiring, it can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Now try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/FREE.
Keep the good times rolling every Sunday with GKB founder and CEO Craig Karmazin on Sunday Karma.
No rump shaking. Did you say that off the air, Kyle? You got to say that on the air. It was not rump shaking. It was not anything inappropriate. It just was totally irrelevant.
Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin.
Because isn't that how GMs get chosen, right? You trade up, in my opinion, cost the team a chance to win a championship.
Sundays from 10 to noon on ESPN Wisconsin.
D-Wade and Travis Diener are providing a very unique opportunity for a few fans to golf in the Wade vs. Diener golf outing and attend the tee-off party the day before for as little as one $10 donation supporting youth literacy programs in Milwaukee. Donate $10 or more at go.cosio.com/golf and be entered to win a trip for 2 to golf in the Wade vs. Diener golf outing at the Bog on July 24th. Winners will also get to go to the tee-off party the night before at Discovery World. Don't miss this chance to hang with D-Wade and Diener out on the course for a great cause.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Welcome back into Scalzo and Brust across ESPN Wisconsin. Joined here today with Alec Ingold. He's doing a lot with the Alec Ingold Family Foundation, and the second annual Battle for Wisconsin is raising money for the Ingold Family Foundation. Alumni versus current players. It is this Saturday. Make sure you get your tickets. But I do want to spend some time with you talking a little bit of, more in depth about football, because obviously a lot is changing in the state of Wisconsin, and there's a new era. It's been an era of Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, Rodgers, and they're moving towards Jordan Love. And with that, you spend some time with the Miami Dolphins and the head coach, Mike McDaniel. There's been a new podcast that came out from The Athletic in which it highlights the 4 coaches, Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur, and Mike McDaniel. And so Mike McDaniel last year had Tua Tagovailoa, who was the quarterback, and you spent some time there. Talk about the system that he's been able to put in place and how that might translate to helping a guy like Jordan Love in his first year in Green Bay.
Yeah, I think it's pretty interesting when you move from organization to organization, going from the Raiders to the Dolphins. You see the fingerprints of football. Like, everyone gets impacted by different coaches, by different coaching trees. So when you're able to go into a new system, not the traditional West Coast offense, you're going to this Shanahan tree, you definitely see a whole lot more. It opens up your eyes to a different level of football. And when you're in it for 1 year, you're learning how the run feeds into the pass into the run. It takes a lot of growth. Like, you're learning so much football every single day because it's a philosophy, it's how they teach, it's different. To go through that for 4 years, I think that's got to be something that, Jordan Love and the Packers have got to feel comfortable with, being in those systems, and that is how Jordan Love knows what NFL football is all about. You've been a part of it. It's been consistent. I know for us in the Dolphins, that you talk about being the second year in the system, that's where you want to grow. That's where you want to develop. You're trying to master these skills, all of the little intricate details, from going up into the huddle and reading off the play script that's like 20 pages long, 20 words long.
What was harder, learning the playbook or an exam at the University of Wisconsin?
Depends on the exam and the school. If we're going business school, it's tough. I didn't make it into business school. So I would do one of those like charter classes, you know what I'm saying? I was a Sohi guy. No, but the playbook is intricate. There's a lot of details to it. You're tagging every single route. You're trying to have all this verbiage. You have to communicate to everybody. So all of those moving pieces, when you have a quarterback like Tua that picked it up in the first year so quick, you look at a guy like Jordan Love going to his first year playing, but he's been there for 4 years. So he's been talking the language. He's been hearing the language. Obviously having Aaron Rodgers dissecting things, it's a lot, and I think that's where the mental load of it, if you work on it on the preparation side of things, that's what allows you to perform and just cut it loose.
As someone who will sit on his butt from 9 a.m. watching, pregame shows, fantasy football shows, to noon to 3, to 3 to 6, to Sunday Night Football, to Monday Night Football, to Thursday Night Football. There's a lot of fans out there who love football, and getting a chance to talk to you, I'd be curious, spending time with the Raiders and the Dolphins, who's a guy that you went up against, maybe had to block, or so it could be a defensive back, it could be a edge rusher, who on the defensive side impressed you most, and you're like, wow, this guy is incredible, and who from an offensive side, because obviously you've played against Mahomes coming from the the Raiders, and just give us some insight into how skilled some of these guys are and who your favorites were.
Vontaze Burfict is 265 pounds of anger and aggression. He is the hardest hitting man ever, and he was trying to prove a point in the first training camp. I'm an undrafted rookie. He wanted to run through me every single time. The training staff had to replace my face mask every 2 days because it was bent so hard from hitting Vontaze Burfict over and over again. So that dude is on a tier of his own, consistently an angry person that loved to hit. Absolutely loved to hit. Offensively,
I hate that I'm smiling about that.
it was aggressive, man. It was welcome to the NFL every day of training camp, man. We were on Hard Knocks that year, so I'm sure you go back to 2019 HBO, you could probably watch that and pull that up. Offensively, I think practicing with Tyreek Hill.
Oh yeah,
some of the routes he runs in practice is silly. It's absolutely you can't even comprehend. We don't play the same sport. Two completely different football, human beings. I don't know if we're the same.
You're playing
human
the same league.
We're on the same team, and it just blows my mind some of the things that he can do. The acceleration, breaking out of routes, from jet motions, running from one side of the field to the other, breaking down so fast. He's not just a speed guy; he can route guys up.
So that's a guy that's on your team. How about somebody out that you watch from the sideline? And you're like, what the heck was that
on offense? Yeah, I think that Patrick Mahomes. Week 2, my rookie year, we just beat the Broncos on Monday Night Football. I'm like, okay, we're feeling ourselves a little bit. We're up 10-7 against the Chiefs going into the second quarter. I'm like, bro, this is 2 divisional games. Rookie year, you're kind of feeling yourself.
Yeah,
he threw for 4 touchdowns in the second quarter. Every time the ball went up, it was someone else was catching the ball. You're just watching it, 40 yards, 50 yards, 60 yards in the air, another touchdown. It was one of those things where it's like, okay, that was another welcome to the NFL moment. Like, these guys are serious.
Yeah, well, you've had a great career thus far, and obviously, looking to expand on that. As a local guy, as we're talking with Alec Ingold here on Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra. I'm super excited. We talked about being connected to the University of Wisconsin. The one sport I let myself feel emotionally attached to is football, and more specifically, Wisconsin football. Right? I grew up in Chicagoland. I never had that team that I felt connected to. And then when I came to Wisconsin, game days were like it was a holiday, and now they still are. Having spent time living in Madison post college, still getting to games now. Just talk about your overall excitement level for the football team and what you're looking for this year.
Yeah, I think being able to have partnered good football with the entertainment value, like you said, it's a holiday. And the city's willing and ready to embrace winning and being successful, but to see the way the guys do it and putting the work in first, you saying win in the offseason in the weight room, like that's how it goes. That's how it happens. So the method to the madness, you see the substance there, it's going to be legit. It's exciting for the fans in the community to be able to celebrate good football, celebrate student athletes going out and performing at the best abilities that they can possibly put together, and really just celebrating those guys, appreciating all the hard work, all the hours that nobody sees, and you get to come together with family, friends, celebrate, enjoy one another, beautiful fall days in between a couple lakes in Madison. Like, it doesn't get better than that.
Have you had a chance to meet any of the new staff or spend time with the football program?
I haven't yet, no. I think that's something that every alumni has on their bucket list right now. Like, you can't wait to get in the building. You can't wait to shake some hands.
Paging the bat signal, Luke Fickell. I mean, can we get Alec Ingold in here?
We got the little...
We got Trenches guy. Meet Trenches guy, please.
Wrestler meet wrestler.
Yeah.
Never
okay,
lost.
So
Are you kidding me? In high school? They undefeated in high school.
I saw a new Badger commit is going to wrestle and play football.
That is so sick.
I mean, I feel like Fickell's the only coach in NCAA college football that would allow that, being a wrestler.
If you wrestle and you are a football player, I think you're just a human badger. Like, your pad level has to be so low. It has to be, like, literally on the ground.
Yeah, well, as long as he's not getting his face mask busted in on his first week of training camp.
Love that, yeah.
That will be fun. Another shout-out to Alec Ingold and the Ingold Family Foundation, doing great things. Battle for Wisconsin, second annual. Current football players, alumni football players, they'll be getting it on. And make sure you go to alecingold.com/foundation to see all the events, to see how you can donate. And if you want to give one more shout-out to anything, we'll give you the last word.
Man, I just appreciate this building, ESPN Madison crew. Like, this is top notch. It's cool to go and travel, see the environment in the office. Like, y'all are creating something special. It's really cool to be a part of it for a quick couple segments. Thank you so much for shouting everything out. Obviously Bishop's Bay today, having a great time, raising some money for some good causes in this community. So excited to be here, man.
Ben Brust here with Alec Ingold. It's been fun chatting with you. And again, alecingold.com/foundation. Thanks for stopping in. And that's it for us today on Scalzo and Brust. We'll see you tomorrow.
We do still have some delays along southbound 43 from Silver Spring pretty much all the way down to Fond du Lac Avenue. On the northbound side is going to be backed up out of the Marquette all the way up past Keefe, so heads up with that. Southbound 894, very heavy from Greenfield down and around the Hale interchange. We have westbound on 894 slowing down out of the Mitchell interchange all the way out past 68th Street. It's going to be very slow through there. Give yourself a bunch of extra time. And then along westbound 94, right out of the Marquette, on and off the brakes a bit, all the way through the Stadium interchange. Traffic is brought to you by Great Lakes Dragaway, a quarter-mile long drag strip, plus a drift pad. Even drive your own car on the track. Find full events, schedules, and ticket information at GreatLakesDragaway.com. And check the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight. Chance of storms later on tonight, a low of 66. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, warm and humid, slight chance for thunderstorms with a high of 87. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Wisconsin, are you ready to rally? Be sure to make plans to stop by Wisconsin Harley-Davidson in Oconomowoc during the 120th Homecoming Festival, July 13th through the 16th, with 45 vendors, 23 bands, and of course Harley-Davidsons. You won't want to miss this anniversary. Whether you ride or not, there's always something for everyone at Wisconsin Harley-Davidson. For more info, like and follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and online at WISHD.com. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
This is SportsCenter.
Hello there. I'm Mark Robbins. The day after Hard Knocks announced the Jets are going to be the featured organization this summer in that series, the Jets lock up All-Pro defensive tackle Quinnen Williams. It's a $96 million four-year extension with $66 million guaranteed. This from ESPN's Adam Schefter. Meanwhile, the other New York squad, the Giants, they're still trying to sign star running back Saquon Barkley to a new deal. Giants put the franchise tag on Barkley, and that made Saquon unhappy. It's been like this for months. ESPN Giants reporter Jordan Raanan says Barkley doesn't seem to be budging.
He's not happy with how this is going so far. Now, we still have 4 days left. Let's see how it goes. Deadline spur action. That's a pretty common saying when it comes to these kind of things. Do the Giants just want to make him happy, or do they want to stick to their guns and say, hey, we don't want to pay for a running back, just like the rest of the league?
That's Jordan Raanan on ESPN Radio. At Wimbledon on Thursday, the women's semifinal, 6th seed Ons Jabeur. A 3-set victory over Arina Sabalenka, the number 2 seed, and unseeded Marketa Vondrousova, beats Evina Svitolina in 3 sets to set up Saturday's final. The men's semis begin Friday, 8:30